Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chapter 12 Algebraic Factors. This whole chapter is about finding the factors of given algebraic expressions. Exercise 12a, its main objective is to find the algebraic or to factorize given algebraic expression using GCF. Okay, so it means first of all, let's see what is the meaning of factorize. Factorize is actually the opposite of expanding. So if you remember in previous chapter 12, what we were doing, we were given a bracket like this, 2 into y plus 3, and how we were multiplying out or removing the bracket. We were just multiplying this 2 by these y plus 3, and it was giving us 2y plus 6. Now to factorize it, we are going to do the opposite. Like here we were multiplying to get the algebraic expression, right? Or you can say to remove the brackets. To get the factors, we will divide this term by 2 and we will divide this term by 2. So if you divide 2y by 2, it will give you only y, and then if you divide 6 by 2, it will give you 3. That means this is one of the factor, and the other factor will be what? The number that here you are using to divide. It's 2. So you will get 2 factors for this given algebraic expression for this one. So all this is giving us an idea that actually whenever we want to find the factors or we want to do the factorization, it's opposite of expanding. Clear? So our first goal is to find, or you can say to find the factors using GCF. How can we find the GCF of the given algebraic expressions? Quickly, let's revise from grade 6 and 5, that how did you learn to find the GCF. So to find the GCF, for example, if I want to find the GCF of 12 and 6, first of all, I will find all the factors of each number. When I say find all the factors of each number, that means that I have to list all the numbers that can divide this number 12. So 1 can divide 12, 2 can divide 12, 3, 4, 6 and 12. All these are the numbers that are factors of 12, or you can say they can divide 12 completely. Then we will make another list of the factors of 16. So we have 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16. All these numbers are the ones that can divide 16 completely. Now after that, we have to circle the factors that are common, or you can say that are same between both the lists. So we can see that 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and then 4 and 4. These are the common factors, or you can say these are the factors same in both lists. Now which one is the greatest one? Because we are finding greatest common factor. Greatest common factor means the greatest of all the common factors. So we have the factors 1, 2 and 4 that are common between both of them, and 4 is the greatest one. So this is how we will find the GCF. Now what about, let's say here's another example. For example, if I want to find the factors GCF of 30 and 42, what I will do, I will make a list of all the numbers that can divide 30, or you can say all the factors of 30. So as you clearly you can see, when I write 1, so it goes with 30. So 1 times 30, these are the 2 factors of 30. When I go with 2, so 2 times 15. So 2 and 15 both become the factors of 30. Then we have 3 times 10. So 3 and 10, and then we have 5 times 6. So this is how we can list all the factors of a number. Then here is the list of the factors of all the factors of 42. Then we notice that 1 is common, 2 is common, 3 is common, and 6 is common. But because we are looking for the greatest common factor, so the greatest common factor will become 6. So you can say 1, 2, 3 and 6. All these are the common factors. Common factors mean same factors, but because we have to choose the greatest one, so 6 will be the greatest common factor. Let me give you some more examples of greatest common factors. So this is you have done now how to find the greatest common factors of the numbers. You know that we have to list the factors of each one of them, and then we choose the greatest one. What if we have the variables, or you can say letters, or you can say algebraic expressions. So if I have x and x squared and I want to find what is the GCF of x and x squared. So remember, this one has only one divisor. What is it? It's only x. But x squared has two divisors. It can be divided by x and it can be divided by x squared. Now because we have to choose the one that is common between both of them, so this will be the common factor. So that's why the GCF will become x. Now here x2 and x3, so remember there's a very short you can say trick to remember what will be the GCF for such terms. So look at this, here the power of x is 2 and here the power of x is 3. So the one that will be the GCF will have the lower power. So x to the power 2 will be the GCF. If you have different variables together, then what will you do? Then you will compare each variable. For example, x will be compared with x squared. Now which one has the lower power? This one has the lower power. So from x and x squared it will become x, and y squared are same. So it means we have to choose from them y. So x, y will be the GCF. If you look at this one, we have number and variables together. So from 2 and 8, first I will compare 2 and 8 and see what is the greatest common factor for 2 and 8. So it is 2, and then I have to check x cube and x squared. So as you can see from here, x and x squared and x cube, the GCF is x squared. So this will be the GCF of both. Now how can we use the GCF to factorize any expression? First of all, let me explain you with the help of some examples. Here for example, the GCF of 2x and 4y. First of all, I will see what is the GCF of these two. So the GCF for these two, I'm solving a part. So the GCF for these two, because x and y are totally different, they do not have same letters, you can say, and 2 and 4, the GCF is 2. So how will you factorize it now? You will divide this expression by this term by 2 and you will divide this term by 2. 2 will be written outside the bracket and what will be inside the bracket? Now look at this. 2 will cancel 2 and what is left here? It's x. So our first term will be x plus. Now 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 will give us 2 and y is still there. So it is 2y. Okay. This is your final answer. Mean that the expression, this algebraic expression has been factorized. So it will look like this. So we have two factors. The first factor is 2 and the second factor is the bracket x plus 2y. Now what is the meaning of factors? Factors means if you will multiply these two factors, you will get this expression. So you can check. Multiply this 2 by x and then multiply this 2 by 2y. So 2 times x will be 2x plus 2 times 2y will give you 4y. So what is the meaning of factorize? Factorize means you can say to find such factors or to find such parts of an expression. If you multiply these parts, it will give you the same expression again. Clear? For example, when I say that the factors of 6 are 2 and 3, that means if you multiply 2 by 3, what will be your answer? Your answer will be 6. So you can write it as 2 times 3, 3 in the bracket and 2 outside. So when you multiply these two, what will you get? You will get 6. So remember, first of all, if you have an expression of 2 or 3 terms, what is your first step? Your first step is to find the GCF, then divide each term by the GCF. For example, here in part C, the GCF is 6. So you will divide the first term by 6, you will divide the second term by 6, and how will you write the answer? You will write the GCF outside the bracket and then you will check what will be inside the bracket by dividing it. So 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18. So it will give you 3x. Minus the same sign that is here between the terms, it will go here in the bracket and then 6 will cancel 6. So what is left? It's y. So this will be these are the factors, or you can say this expression has been factorized. Clear? Now let's solve some questions from the exercise. I will solve, let's say 1 or 2, let's say 1 and 5 I will solve for you. or some of them I will solve and the rest I want you to solve on your own. Clear? So let me solve number 1 for you. Now first of all I have to think what is the GCF. So 4 and 4 can be divided by 4. It means 4 is a number that can divide both of them. So the GCF will become 4. Now how I have to use this GCF, or I will write the GCF over here for you. So the GCF is 4. Now how do we have to use this GCF? That I will divide the first term by the GCF and the second term by the GCF. Now how I will write the answer? I will say the first factor is 4, the one that is the GCF, and now here clearly you can see 4 divided by 4 will be 1. That means they will cancel each other, and what will be left? Only x will be left, right? Plus, now in the second one 4 divided by 4 is 1, so it will give you 1 here. So this will be your final answer. We have 2 factors. Let me solve one more for you. Let me solve this one for you. Now when I first of all I have to check the numbers. Here the coefficient is 6, and here I do not have any coefficient. It means it's 1. So 1 and 6, their coefficient will be 1, so no need to write 1, because if you will divide each term by 1 it will not make any difference, right? So what about the a's? So here I have a to the power 2, and here I have a to the power 1. So just on the last slide I explained you that whenever you have 2 variables with different powers, choose the one that is with the lower power. So we will choose a as a GCF. Now this one will be divided by a and this one will be divided by a. How will you make the factors? You will write the GCF outside. This is the GCF. And then you want to check what is inside the bracket. Now here remember, if you remember in chapter 1 we did this type of questions like a squared divided by a is the same as a squared divided by a. And how do we solve these? We subtract the exponents. So 2 minus 1, so the answer will become a to the power 1. A to the power 1 is actually a, or in other words you can say here, because we were having a times a in the numerator and a in the denominator, one of the a will be cancelled and only one a will be left. The same sign that is here between the terms, it will go here in the bracket, and then a will cancel. A means a divided by a is 1. That means 6 times 1 is 6. So this will be your answer. Now pause the video here and solve 5, 9 and 18 on your own. So here are all the answers for number 5, 9 and 18. Let's solve some more questions here. Now we have like 25 in this question and 5. First of all we will check the numbers. So what is the GCF for 25 and 5? Means I have to think about a number that can divide both of them, and it should be the greatest number. So it's 5. Then I have to think about a squared and a. So what is the GCF for a squared and a? It's a. Now what is the next step? Divide this term by 5a and divide this term by 5a. Now finally how we will write the factors? We will say our first factor is the same, that is the GCF, and then we have to check what is the other factor. So clearly you can see here 25 divided by 5, 5 times 1 is 5. And 5 times 5 is 25. So we are getting, what are we getting here? 5. Now a squared divided by a. On the last slide I told you actually you have to subtract the exponents from the exponents. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. So a to the power 1 means a. Now same sign that is here will go in the answer. Now 5a divided by 5a is 1 times, and 1 times 1 over 1 means 1. So this is the final answer. Right, now better pause the video here and solve the next 2 questions on your own. So here are all the answers for this for question number 24 and 26.